like to shoot the Barebow, okay, which is basically a stripped down Olympic bow, you know, off the shelf. I don't have a rest or a plunger, and it's really, for me, it's kind of a challenge. I enjoy trying to tune them. I shoot the local 3D tournaments, you know, and we have grouped in with us different people, Barebows, guys with plungers and rest, the real Barebows. I have a little everything. And it's fun. It's just a fun shoot, 3D, you know. So I said to myself, you know, maybe it's time I set up a real Barebow setup with a plunger and a rest specifically for that purpose. And just see how I do. The difference is it's easier to tune, you know. So I ordered the 19-inch Gillo GT. I have a rest. I'm not sure, all the rests were out, but I had a Spigarelli rest. I put one on my extra Morrison riser. I said, let me play. That Gillo GT won't be here till maybe Thursday, and this is Sunday. So let me just practice. It's been a while since I set up a bow with a plunger and a rest. So I looked in my archery box. I found an old plunger I thought was intact, but it's missing the end cap. And I have a bunch of these Bear kinetic plungers. So I took the lug nut off of that rest, whatever brand that was that lost it, the lug nut, and I used the plunger, okay? The whole rest, the kinetic rest, okay, other than that lock nut. And then I put the Spigarelli rest on, okay, and set it up. And when I set it up, I align it. I'll put a picture on, okay? If you're a right-handed shooter and you're looking down the string, you want that arrow to be slightly to the left. You want to see a shadow to the left for a right-handed shooter. For a right-handed, you want to see the shadow to the right, okay? That's kind of how I set it up. I was talking to a friend today that's, you know, really knowledgeable. He's an older archer. He's been shooting for a million years. He says, you know, even sometimes they set it up center. I says, you know, but I always was taught to, you know, set it up like, you know, right-handed, a little left, you know, to start with. So that's a start, you know. So I figured just for fun, we got tornado warnings in Suffolk County today. It's pouring rain out. I'm bored. Let me put together, you know, a Barebow just to shoot for 2 days or whatever it is. If I get a chance, I'm going to shoot in the house here and have a little fun. And I know I want to just show you the difference in, like, I believe the arrows will fly a little weak out of this bow. And we're going to see if we can get it to fly a little better with the plunger. You know, you're able to, where normally if I'm shooting off the shelf and it's weak, I have to go less. But you could, less weight. But with the plunger, there's things you could do, okay? You know, you could stiffen it up a little bit, all right? And things you could do. So I'm going to take some video of me shooting. And when I do get that Gillo GT, I will take a video of me setting it up, how I do it, you know. People ask me all the time, let me see if I got it here. Oh, what's that cut arrow you have? See the cut arrow? Well, I'm an old timer. Years ago with the prong rest on compound bows and with the plungers and rest on recurves, you couldn't put this, the T-square on. Look, how do you align the nocks? It goes inside there. But when you have an actual cut arrow down the middle, and it was a pain in the neck to cut, by the way, you got to be careful you don't get hurt if you make one. You know, it's aluminum. You see how the T-square sits between the plunger and the rest, so you can set the nock properly, just like an arrow was there. Okay, so a lot of guys see in my videos, I have this ancient T-square, you know, it's just like the ones you buy today, with the exception it's got, I believe, a 1916 aluminum with a shaft cut, you know, with the shaft cut in half, you know, a groove cut in the length of the arrow. Okay, so it fits on top of the shaft. All right, so now I'm gonna stop here. We'll do a little shooting and tuning. Okay, just want to be clear, once you put the arrow on the string, you knock it on the string, and you're looking down the arrow that's laying on the rest of the plunger. If you're a right-handed shooter, you want that arrow to shadow to the left side of the string. If you're a left-handed shooter, you want that arrow to shadow to the right side of the string. I just want to be clear, that's all, just so you understand that. Okay, so once again, why did I set my second riser up with a plunger and spaghetti rest? Why? Because I'm bored. It's raining. There's nothing to do today. Like I said, I'll do a better video when the new Gillo GT riser comes in that I ordered. Okay, with a new plunger, a new rest. But for now, we're going to just try, for no other reason than just to do it, tune this bow here. I want to show you what the difference is, like how you could adjust it a little weak, a little left with the plunger. Hopefully we're able to do that, okay? These are 700 spline and trotters, okay? Here's a bare shaft and a flat shaft. You know, we're like, I don't know, 7 yards, 6 yards in the house. Okay, let's go see what the arrows look like and see what that tells us, okay? Okay, we'd have to shoot this a couple of times now. Like I said, you know, it could have been rushed or whatever. But the tail is a little to the left, which means it's weak. And if you look straight down from a bare flat shaft and a flat shaft, if the arrow's to the right, it's weak. If it's to the left, it's stiff. So, okay, this is showing that it's a little weak. If you just looked at the plain shaft tune, plain bare shaft tune, or fletched end bare shaft tune, it shows the same thing. It's a little weak. So we're going to shoot this just one more time, check it, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the plunger to try and take away some of that weak activity, okay? I'm going to shut it off and set up and we'll shoot again. Okay, we're going to try that shot again. Just so you know, it's a challenge. You have to really have good form and have everything repeatable if you're going to tune your arrows. Even with the plunger and the rest too, you have to make sure you don't pluck. You know, you got to do everything right. So if you're inexperienced or you're really inconsistent, look at a spine chart and stick with the recommendations of the spine chart and practice, practice, practice until you get really good groups. And then you can tune them a little better, all right? Here we go. We're going to see if we can get another week set. Okay, let's check it out. Also, the knocking point could be adjusted on these too. We'll play with that after we get the plunger set. Okay, once again, we got the same result. Okay, so it's a little weak. So I had to find the Allen key. I loosened this up, okay? This one don't have the key in the middle that you adjust the whole thing. It's an old style, right? So what we want to do, if it's a little weak, we're going to try tightening it. So we're going to go a whole turn. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but we're going to see. It may go more than a whole turn. And what that does is the spring is on the back of this cup. Okay, it's on the back of here, the spring. Let's see if it does anything at all one turn. may have to do it again. Here we go. Okay, obviously we're gonna have to do this 2 times, but let's see what happened. Okay, remember it was showing weak. Let's see if it's still weak. Okay, it's still showing. Oh. Sorry about that. It's still showing weak, so we're going to tighten it up a little more and see if we could change it. Okay, we'll shoot again. Okay, tightened it up another 2 turns. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happened, if anything. Okay, as far as the bear and flood shaft goes, they're on top of each other now. Oh, keep doing this. Okay, as far as the bear shaft and flood shaft, they're on top of each other. Can't even put a finger in between. Okay, so in other words, it was really weak. Tightened it up, tightened up the pressure on the plunger, and it brought it over where the arrows are touching now. So this is acceptable. Like I said, it's just a fun day, okay? Shooting in the house. So I'll just take another shot or 2 just with the flood shaft and just have some fun. All right. Okay, the rain took a break and the boys are hungry outside, the outside boys. So got to feed them and then we're back to taking the last couple of shots. Okay, they've been with us for 9 years. The cat lady across the street moved out and we took care of them. Now they've been with us for 9 years. They had their little houses in the back, heated for the winter. Okay. Okay, let me take 2 shots just to see how it is. You can watch me draw and anchor. Kind of when I anchor, elbow has to be all the way back, feel my back engaged, okay? And I slide my top finger to the corner of my mouth, and when the back's engaged, I'll feel that edge of the corner, okay? Even if it was back a little and I was engaged, wherever it would stop, that would be it. That's your anchor point. But it happens to be the corner of the mouth for me. So let's just see if I can touch arrows. You know, who knows what's going to happen. Okay, let's check it out. Like I said, this is just playing around on a rainy day, setting up a Barebow with a plunger and a rest. Kind of a makeshift plunger. It works, you know, just 2 parts, 2 different parts, put them together. And like I said, I plan on making a really good video when I get that nice Barebow, that G2 setup, the 19-inch. I'll put those Yukas on and we'll set it up together and we'll go shoot. But let's check it out now. Okay. Honestly, it don't get any better than that with touching arrows, right? Okay, so much for my rainy day fun. okay? And look forward to setting up and tuning that actual Barebow setup with the rest of the plunger. And we'll have fun. So look forward to seeing those videos probably by the end of the week. Have a good day. Watch my other videos on Barebow Joe. And I hope we don't get any tornadoes with the tornado watch on Long Island. Take care.